Hi, Rajshri, how are you?
Hi, Keerthika.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Let me get my headphones. You might want to give people some more time to kind of join and then get started. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, and then I'll make you the host of the meeting, which
Okay.
means you'll have to add people from the waiting room. How have you been?
Good. Yeah, things have been quite exciting.
Start. Okay. Great, thank you. You can take it up.
Awesome. Let me just... Okay, let me just share my screen. All right. Oops. All right. So yeah, I basically hope that this could be a dialogue where you guys drive the conversation more than I do. So at any point, please feel free to stop and ask any questions that you might want to. Considering we're a smallish group, I was thinking, we could go around introducing ourselves. And then, yeah, and then we could just get going with the presentation. I can start. So I'm Keerthika. I started my master's in computer science program in August 2019, and I graduated in May 2021. I was part of the professionals program, and after that, now I work as a senior analyst at Eli Lilly and Company, which is out here in Indianapolis. Before that, during my master's, I was a summer intern as a machine learning intern at Envoke, which is a local firm in Boulder, which was also centered around healthcare and analytics. And then I co-opted for the following 2 semesters. So that was a summer plus 2 subsequent semesters that I worked with them. So that's a little bit about me. So my major interests lie in data science and analytics with a specific focus on healthcare. So if you guys want to go around introducing yourselves, that
So
would be...
Keerthika, you might want to popcorn. Just pick somebody and then that somebody will
yes.
pick somebody else, because that's the easiest way you can do in Zoom.
Yeah, who's on my list first? Rahul.
Yeah. Hi, Keerthika. I'm Ragul. I did my undergrad at Coimbatore Institute of Technology, Coimbatore. I have a work experience of 3 years working in Acolyte as a senior software engineer. I started after a long time, I came to C Boulder after getting an admit at 2020, came to C Boulder in 2021. And yeah, things are going a bit hectic, yeah. Yeah, that's it from me. And I'll pick Aravind next.
Oh, Rahul is my mentee, by the way.
Yeah.
Hello guys, this is Arvind. I did my bachelor's in computer science and engineering from Coimbatore Institute of Technology, and then post my undergraduation, I joined Sirocco India Private Limited as a software developer. There I worked for 2 years, and then I joined Zomentum. There also I worked as a software engineer for a year. Then here I am pursuing my master's in computer science. Yeah, that's it about it. I'll pick Hunar.
Hello, Keerthika, Rajshri, and everyone. I am Hunar. I did my undergrad from Nirma University, Ahmedabad, in computer engineering, and currently I'm doing my master's in CS professional program here in Boulder. I had 2 years of work experience. My first year was in a startup where I was backend developer and a game developer. And then I moved to Oracle as an application engineer. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
Awesome.
I pick Medha.
Hi, I just joined. What's going on?
So you need to introduce yourself. Sorry.
Okay, hi. Hi, I'm Medha Sharma. I'm in MS Professional Masters Computer Science. What else? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I could. Who else is left on the list?
So that's what happens when the instructions weren't complete. Hunar, you should have said, hey, Medha, you need to popcorn somebody. And so I think
sorry, Medha, you need to popcorn somebody because we are so less people. So we are just,
introducing,
introducing ourselves.
So since you
okay.
arrived late, the only person left is Maithi, I think. Is that her?
Yeah, I think so. It's Maithili.
Yeah.
Hi, Rajvi. Hi, everyone. Hi, I'm Maithili. I'm a computer science graduate student here in CU Boulder. Okay, I did my UG in Ramaya Institute of Technology. After that, I worked at Cisco for 4 years in Bangalore. Thank you.
Great. Try to turn your videos on because we're such a small group.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see all of your faces. But I know the pressure because I've been there and there have been like so many times where I didn't want to turn it on. So.
Yeah. No. Hi.
Hello. Okay. Let me just continue to share my screen and then we can just go through this little presentation that I put together. And again, this is like super informal and just like stop me and ask questions whenever you feel like it. So yes, I feel like the key to this entire process of job search is to prepare yourself and do like external preparation. So I would like to start off with a disclaimer that whatever I'm about to say is something that you might already know, in which case I'm sorry that I'm not very helpful. But that being said, okay, so the things that I put together is in no way like the priority list is something. It's just the things that pop to me and things that I remember doing in a chronological order of sorts back when I was, in the master's program. So the first and foremost, I think your best friend out there is the career services. Could you do like a show of hands of how many people have talked with them or like interacted with them in the past? Actually, to begin with, when did you all start your program? I think that would give us a better like timeline and like things like that.
23rd of August, we started with the classes.
All of you, right? All of you, like you started in August 2021. Okay, cool. Okay, so it's hardly been like a month, and I'm like super happy that you're all like so motivated to be here just when you've like started your program, because I wasn't that. So great. So that being said, so this is our batch was pretty lucky in the sense that we had everything in person, so orientation and things like that. You guys probably had it in person also, but then that's when like all the different departments come and speak with us, and then that's when I learned about the different options and the different kind of services that comes as part of the career services at CU. And from what I've heard from my friends in other places also, CU is so much more helpful with regards to like job search and things like that, because the services that are being offered is free of cost. It's actually part of your tuition, so it makes most sense for you to take their help in every step of the way. I think the first thing you should do is put together a rough sort of a resume, because that's like the first thing that you present to companies, right? And the career services have walk-ins where they hand over a pre-structured kind of a handout that specifies all of the keywords that could help you boost your resume, and you can go and see them like regularly, and they'd help you structure the whole thing. And like if something's like not very relevant to what you're trying to convey, they like help you cut all that short and things like that. So I feel like you guys should check out their website, and like maybe book in like walk-ins and things like that. When I was a student there, they were super busy, so at times even if you wanted to meet them, you had to like wait for a week and a half and things like that. So start early and like build a rapport, and some of them are really accommodative. If you feel like you're super comfortable with one person, and he or she, they have been like with you through the whole process, you can continue to like go to them, and they really don't mind. And oh yes, so CU also brings in a lot of these company networking events. Some of the more popular ones are the Facebook event, the Twitter event that happens usually in the case building. No, actually, no. It happens at the Leeds Business School, I believe. And yeah, so those are the top two that I remember, but there are like so many of these company networking events that happen. So these events you can just think of as the company advertising itself, basically. And you might think like somebody like a Twitter or a Facebook does not need advertising, but that's not actually the case, because these firms are looking to hire like local talent. So they want you to like have them as the first pick of sorts. So it's more like them getting to know you, you getting to know them. So they usually put up a presentation where they talk about the experiences that people from CU have had in the past. You have like all of these CU alumni coming in and giving you a talk on how their experience was with the company, is if they're still with the company and things like that. So that's also usually updated on the Career Services website. And I believe they also offer mock interviews, either through their own personnel, if it's just like a behavioral that you want to like get used to. But if you are looking for a more technical interview, they also have like mock interviews being scheduled throughout the year. And a lot of companies participate in that also, like Splunk and all of them come for these mock interviews also. And I do know people who've like managed to like build a rapport through these mock interviews, and like have progressed in the interview process through that as well. And then yeah, we spoke about the resume reviews. So considering you're just starting out, whenever you have the time over the next couple of months. Oh, I see a hand raised, but I don't know who that is. Oh, please unmute yourself and ask me the question.
Hey Keerthika, Hunar here. I have one question. Like I have not like worked as a machine learning engineer or analyst in my previous job roles. Can I put applications to those roles for internships, because I do not have any prior experience. So what do you suggest? Should I take first the courses in CU regarding those subjects, and then I apply for the job roles, or should I directly put my applications in machine learning roles and then figure it out beforehand and move forward with it?
A good question, Honar. I feel like with the way that these companies function, I feel like experience is something that they might be looking for, just because of the sheer number of applications that they receive, right? So somebody who says that they do have prior experience might be considered over you. So my suggestion would be to take a couple of these courses, so that you can at least mention those, because most of these companies they have automated resume filtering, right? So you need to have at least those words there, so that you get past the bot at least. So so that's yeah. So I think you should just like take a couple of these courses, have them even if something that you're pursuing now, you can just like mention that, and then yeah, I think that should help you.
Thanks a lot.
No problem. Great. Let's see. So moving on. Resume, yes. So it's always important to have like an updated and like a well-structured resume at all times, because you don't know who you're meeting when. But then by no means do I say that you need to carry one on yourself like all times. But then, when you know that, like a company networking event is coming up, or the career fair is like in a week or something, make sure that you have something prepared like well in advance. And a structured resume is always more better than like a very haphazardly put one. So this is where career services might help, or just like talking to your peers and figuring out how they are going through with these resumes. Like this might seem like one of the most obvious things that one should do, but like I've learned so many mistakes that I've done with my resume. So it's always better to have like a couple of eyes give you their opinion on how it should be, especially if that person is a professional and has like experience looking at things like this. Oh, this also reminds me, there are events where it's just like a review of resumes. You have like HRs from like these different companies who come in, and you get to have like a one-on-one for 15 minutes, I think, with them, and they just like go through your resume, and they thanks, Rajshri. I'll talk to you soon. Yeah. Where was I? Yeah. So yeah, you get to have these one-on-ones, which are also very helpful. So that's something that you could look out for. So all of these, it's just a one place stop, the career services website. So like keep checking it like whenever you can. And then elevator pitches. So this is something that can be a little harder, or at least I personally found it like pretty hard to like sell myself literally in like 30 seconds that I get to talk with these companies. So when like all these companies come in for the career fairs, they are usually open for undergrads, grads, PhDs, and sometimes it's a department focus, sometimes it's open for everybody. So you can imagine the sheer amount of people that come in, and the number of company representatives is usually one or two, and they get exhausted talking to people like throughout the day. So they're not going to like be chit-chatting there with you. I mean, some people do, but then like mostly they just want you to make that quick impression, so that they're like maybe not. That's literally the case. So you probably have, if you get a minute, that's a lot. But no pressure, like like make practice something like this with your peers, with your friends, or whomever, and just make it a short and like a well structured, impactful pitch of sorts that highlights what your unique selling point is. And this is a little tricky. So you might want to, I'm so sorry, I'm just letting somebody in the room. All right. So this is something that you might want to take a couple of passes before you settle down on one. And one other thing to keep in mind is like as students in computer science, the arena that's open to you is endless. So you have like data science, you have like software development, or you can do anything, game dev, or whatever. So my advice would be to have like different resumes and pictures for each of those roles that you're looking for, because there's no one size fits all when it comes to resumes. Because say for a data analytics or a data science role, you might want to talk more about, you might want to highlight your analytical experiences quite at the top, but that's not the case with say a software development role, be it back end, front end, or something else, or a cloud centric role. So think about that also. And then one other helpful place is Handshake, the CU specific Handshake, and not just like the general one. And I believe that if you sign up with your college ID, it automatically puts you on under the CU domain. But you might also like receive a invitation in email. So that should also help you link yourself with the CU specific version. And LinkedIn is, of course, like the all popular place to like get jobs. But the problem with LinkedIn is you need to keep in mind that people who are looking for jobs are more on LinkedIn than people who are looking to hire. So even if you're sending out like messages, personal messages to like people from various companies, the probability of them replying to you is not high. So don't get disheartened if you don't get any replies through LinkedIn, because it's worked in the past. Like I know a friend who bagged a pretty good job just because of LinkedIn. So always, of course, try, but don't get disheartened when they don't reply, because they come on the platform only if they need something, and that's usually not the case. So that's that. So the career fair, I think there's 2 every year, and depending on where you are, you're either looking for a internship or you're looking for a full-time position. So like I said, career fair days can be quite hectic. Like you probably have like 6 hours to cover, say, like 50 companies that are coming in. So the career services actually puts up a list of every single company that's coming in addition to the kind of roles that they're looking for, or at least the kind of departments that they are looking for. For instance, back in when I just come to see you, the career fair that came that following a month was mostly like targeted towards like networks and things like that. So there was not a lot of data science or SDEs. So just go to the website and just make a little note for yourself about the different companies that you want to go and interact with, and just manage your time very well that day, because there's no chance that you will go visit every single booth. So just like make sure that you hit the ones that you really want to at the beginning of the day, because you are going to get tired, they are going to get tired, and everyone just wants to go home. So make sure that you prepare for these. And hackathons are actually a very fun and a great way to like network. There are a lot of hackathons that's like organized at CU. The 2 that come to mind is the T9 hacks, which is my personal favorite, and there's the CU hack, I think that's called. So the CU hack is the bigger, wider thing. The T9 hacks is usually a smaller set of, a smaller hackathon. So do participate in those if this is something that you like doing. It's mostly just, yes, Hunar.
Sorry to interrupt. Are there any groups or pages from where you find those hackathons?
Good question. Where do we find these? I'm not sure, but I think you could follow T9 hacks. Oh, I'm so sorry. Somebody's waiting in the room. Okay. Okay. What is he saying? Oh, yes, the hackathons. You could follow. Oh, yes. So if I'm sure all of you are on Instagram and like Facebook and all these social media platforms, follow the general CU Boulder page. They usually advertise. I'm sorry, I'm letting somebody else in also. Yeah, they usually advertise all of these hackathons and things like that. The CU Boulder Instagram handle on the Instagram handle is really nice. There's a engineering handle also on Instagram. They also advertise all of these hackathons. And I mean, yeah, from there, you basically go to the hackathons handle, and then there they usually just update whenever they hold one. So social media could be a good starting point to like find these hackathons. All right. So next is the conferences. This is not my cup of tea, because I didn't take research for reason. Like I wasn't too inclined towards that. I was more of a professionals program person, but conferences could also be nice way to like interact and expand your network, especially if you're in research. GHC is one of the most popular conferences, and I was also a part of it, and that really helped me. In fact, the job that I hold now was also through GHC. I connected with them through the virtual GHC, which happened in 2020. And then, but then at that point they didn't have any open positions, but then like they got back after a couple of months when they did have a position open, and that's how this whole thing happened for me. So keep an eye out for these job conferences that happen, and do participate. If anything, you would make friends there who could help you in the future also. And one other thing that personally helped me a lot was to have mentors. I was not the type of person who believed in like mentorship and things like that, but somehow like the initial 1 week at CU was basically just us exploring the campus and like going to literally every event that was happening, because we didn't have anything else to do. And that's how my friend and I, we landed up in a meeting that was for the women in science and engineering. And though it says women in science and engineering, they welcome all genders. So feel free to check out those pages, as there's a lot of like STEM related clubs in CU. And why I specifically mentioned the women in science and engineering was because when we went for the first meeting, they had a peer mentoring they had a mentorship program that was being held. And we just had to fill out a couple of forms where they asked us for whom we would like as a mentor, and they actually match you up with somebody from the industry, which was pretty cool. So I basically wanted a data scientist because I didn't technically have any like data science experience. So I wanted somebody from the industry who could talk to me about how it actually is and what the expectations are, because the word data science, AI, and ML is just thrown all over the place. In fact, every single company has its own interpretation of what it is. So it truly helps to like hear from somebody who's in the space about what it is, and that I feel applies to any area of interest that you might have, be it theoretical computation or the likes of all of that. So get yourselves mentors. Our department, I'm sure you've received emails about peer mentoring also, so that can also be very helpful, especially if you're new to the country, new to the state, and you don't have people that these peer mentors can help you because they've been through the same journey as you. They would help you not make the mistakes that they did, which is what happened with me also. So find yourself a peer mentor, find yourself an in the industry mentor. And if you want to continue being in the academic space, say a PhD or something, like find an academic mentor. And all of these people don't necessarily have to be content to just see you, like explore outside also and see if you can find somebody like that. In fact, my internship happened because of the industry mentor that I got, the data scientist that I was talking about. So she helped me connect with the folks at Envoke, and because they worked in the past, and then things like that. So mentors can be a great value addition to your career. And though like I moved to a new city and things like that, my mentor and I still stay in touch, because like she helps me with my career now also, because she's been doing this for like the past 10 years. So the kind of experiences that she has, and the kind of the way that she structured her career can also help you, especially as early career professionals, where you don't know what you're doing and things like that. And finally, some of the specific CU courses really do help. What I keep forgetting the name of the Atlas courses are really fun. That they have a variable technology course. There's basically check out all Atlas courses whenever you're picking your courses for this semester. I believe you're allowed to take 2 or 3 non-CU courses, but sometimes Atlas courses do come under CU, which is like an added win-win because you don't have to, you use up your 2 extra quotas. One of the most popular courses in CU is the one by Gregory Greenstreet. Yeah, I think that's his name. He is, I believe, the director at Splunk. I'm not sure if he's still continuing to do the course with like pandemic and all of that, but that was a really popular course. I think that was the big data architecture that was offered at Atlas. So that is really nice. And the one other is the variable technology. I cannot seem to recall who handled that course, but that was also really nice. By that I mean, these courses are not structured like the general courses where there's a lecture and then you have like assignments that you turn in and things like that. These specific courses, most of these Atlas courses are self-learning in the sense that usually people from the industry come and like handle these courses and they guide you and like introduce you to all of the technologies that's like out there, and they speak about what is currently the hot thing that's happening in the industry and how you can pick what interests you. So the point of the Gregory Greenstreet course was big data architecture, which meant that he introduced us to all of the cloud technologies, Kubernetes and things like that. And the point of the course was, I think we had like 3 quizzes the entire semester, that's it. And we had a semester long project as themes of 5 or 6, and you basically pick your own project topic and basically work on it and use as many of those technologies as you possibly can. Even if it's a force fit, like we were encouraged to use all of these technologies. Like the topic that I took didn't even want like a Kafka and things like that, but then he asked us to use it because at least you should know like hands-on how those things work. So yeah, I ramble, but then the point being, like some of these courses can like really help you, like figure out where you want to go with respect to job searches and how you could prepare and have like basically real hand experience in like working with those technologies, and you can totally put that on your resume and you'll have something to talk about when you go in for interviews. And that brings me to another very important point. Like I've been guilty of it, I'm sure all of us have been guilty of it, like trying to oversell yourself on paper. And that is, I mean, it works for some people. Like if you're lucky enough, you can just like get away with it. But then yeah, I mean, the possibility of somebody just getting stuck because of one thing that they put on their resume has happened in the past, and then don't get into that mess, because yeah, that's quite embarrassing. And then yeah, it just does not reflect that well. Like I mean, it's fine to like just like BS in your resume, but make sure that you have something or the other to say about it and just like evade it if you can. But yeah, that's one other yes, Honor.
So how do you reach out for the industry mentor? Because we have not received any mail from the university.
Oh yeah, so this industry mentor literally happened by accident, right? So it wasn't a department program or anything. It's just that, I mean, I literally accidentally came across this, but one space where this helps is the UMC. Yes, the UMC usually has like a bulletin board that like specifies all of the events that are happening in the building for the month or like the entire semester. And all of these club meetings usually happen at the UMC only. The case building and the UMC are probably like good places where you could go check out to see if they have any things that are happening that month that can help you. Yeah. Oh, do check out Vice, because that I believe is a very active group. Like I still receive emails from them every now and then, and they still sound like they're pretty active. So that could help. And then what else did I have? Oh yeah, so just general like tips. I've been in this part where I was just like, like any job is okay with me. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh yes, Meda. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, there you go. You have a peer who knows about Vice and their meetings. You should definitely talk to them about this, the mentorship program, Meda, if you haven't already, because I personally found it really helpful, and I feel like my career literally took off because of a mentor. Like I think we were in the middle of the pandemic when we had to look out for internships, and it was like super stressful, and most of the cohort had not managed to get a job, so it was pretty stressful, and without her I don't know if I would have had an internship. So you don't know when you would meet whom, and oops, how do I go back? Yeah. That, oh yes, I feel like I missed out the most important things of all. Network. Go out of your way to like network. I'm an introvert. I still can't like talk to strangers and things like that. Sorry, yeah. But then like at least the way that this country functions, you have to network, because that is the easiest way for you to put at least one foot inside the company, especially because the sheer amount of candidates applying for the same role as you. And oh, one other thing is, so you apply for a role, but there is a practice in companies where it's mandatory for them to put out a job posting, no matter. So what I'm trying to say is that the company already has a candidate in mind for a specific role. Say they are moving one candidate from a different position within the organization to a different department, but they're still mandated to put out a job posting. Rules, I don't know. So the point being that you as a candidate would see that posting and say it was posted like 2 hours back, and you're thinking, okay, like I'm there, like I'm applying for this role pretty quickly also. But the point is they've already decided on a candidate. So it becomes quite frustrating because you don't know what is happening on the background. So things like that can, like at times be very cumbersome. So the best way is to have some kind of a contact in the company that you want to be a part of. So network as much as possible. You don't know whom you'll meet when and who can help you when. So just like go out and like just talk about like the different things that interest you. If you're looking for an internship, make sure that you let the person know that you're looking for an internship, or if it's a full-time position, let them know. And if it's like a more professional setting, make sure that you are able to articulate why that specific company and why the specific role. Because like companies usually, or I mean, I could be very, very wrong with this perception, but I feel like most companies, oh, I'm so sorry, somebody else is here. All right. Yeah, so like I was saying, companies or the interviewers are looking for the best fit for their company, right? Which means that they're hiring you for a career and not just a role. So make sure that you are able to answer questions, or at least put across, articulate why you want to be with them, why they should hire you, and why you chose that particular company and the role. Like I put on the slide, I feel like interviews are two-way. So the interviewer is trying to see if you are a good fit for the company, but you should also like try and figure out if this company is a good fit for you. I think I was just trying to somebody else is joining. Okay. Yeah, so I was trying to arrive at the point where, at one point all I wanted was a job. I didn't care what it was. I didn't care where it was. So I, like, it's possible for many of us to be in that situation and not really care about, the kind of work that you're doing or the kind of company that you're associating yourself with. But if you do have the luxury of like picking, make sure that you also make, you feel like you like the company that you're working for, because after a point it just becomes super taxing and you don't want to put yourself through all of that trouble. So and basically look for companies that are interested in mutual growth, not just the company trying to take most out of you, but also see what you get out from the company. Make sure that they care for you, they care for their employees, make sure that they have a good culture. And how do you find all of this? Is just through the interviews. Like, have questions that you ask them about their company culture and things like that, to get a grasp of their perception of how this mutual relationship could work. Questions like, like, how would I be supported with my career? You could even be like, if you would be supplied with like mentors who could help you figure out, especially if an early career professional, you can be very candid and like ask questions about how the company could help you structure a path for you. But of course, make sure that you do come across as somebody who knows what they want, but like talk in terms of like 10 years from now, 5 years from now, how the company is going to help you grow as a person. And I was talking about making this presentation with a colleague, and he recommended reading this book that's Getting from College to Career by Lindsay Pollock. So if you have nothing else to do on a snowy day in Boulder, which is almost all days, just probably like take a good quick read of this. I think they basically stress on the importance of making contacts, networking as much as you possibly can, and how that helps you put a foot in. Do they have anything else? Oh, yeah. So the general takeaways is just apply as much as you can. Apply. I feel like at the beginning of your search, you can be like pretty picky, and just bear in mind the timelines that different companies have, because again, the sheer number of people who are applying is quite high, so roles do get filled in pretty quickly. So if you do have a particular company in mind, make sure you apply pretty quickly, but also make sure that you are prepared to take any technical rounds that they have, or any like behavioral, or basically make sure that you are prepared to interview in a pretty short span of time from the time that you apply. And network as much as you possibly can, and prep in terms of both technical and like yourself. Personality matters a lot when it comes to like interviewing. So make sure that you practice interviewing with, say, your friends or with career services or any opportunity that you get. So like if you're just starting out in your search, take up as many interviews as you can. Even if you don't see yourself working for that particular term, just take it for the sake of having experienced an interview, because that experience can help you figure out what you don't know or where you lack, and that could help you ace the next actual interview that you actually want to bag. So, and prep in terms of technical also, like lead code is like the most popular place to like prep for computer science in general. But if you are a data science or a machine learning pursuant, that might not actually be pretty helpful, because they don't have that many materials. I feel like lead code is mostly catered towards say a software developer role, and not so much anything else. So think about other avenues where you could learn the skills that are required to crack the different kinds of interviews that you want to sit for. So that, and then finally interview. And like I said, like your personality really matters. Make sure that you come across as friendly, make sure that you ask a lot of questions, and bear in mind that it has to be two-way. Don't just let the interviewer drive the conversation. Make sure that you put in your input also, and make sure that they are taking away something from the conversation that they've had with you in the half an hour or however long that slot is for. And then finally we come to the end of this. You got this. I mean, I'm actually really proud that all of you made it to this session, because if you ask me what I did in like the initial couple of months that I landed in Boulder, I was just trying to figure out Boulder. Like I was trying to not be homesick. I was just trying to like cook and like not like die out of starvation, possibly make new friends and things like that. So, but then you guys are being super motivated and thinking about like the future, like well in advance. So, you're already like so much better off than I ever was. So you really got this. Just like don't overstress yourself. And I feel like from personal experience, this is something that I've learned. Like don't compare your like journey with anybody else's, because the two of you don't want the exact same thing. For instance, the peers that I had in like the close knit friends that I had in Boulder, all of them wanted to be software developers, but I didn't. I was hell-bent on taking a data analytics or data science role because that's where my interest lays. So yeah, so what is the thing? So basically, yeah, so your journeys could be completely different. So do not be disheartened when your friends do land jobs, but you still nowhere close to doing that, because it'll all happen in good time. So just take a breather and like enjoy Boulder, because I miss Boulder so much now that I've moved. So like enjoy the 2 years. Actually, you don't even have 2 years. It's a lie when they say that master's is 2 years, because it's hardly like 4 semesters. So just enjoy your time while you're there, and like don't stress too much. We have a question. For data science interviews, is there any recommended book that you know? Books I'm not too sure of, but I prepared through a couple of Udemy courses. And what else did I do? The courses offered, the machine learning courses at CU actually help. I didn't take both. I took the machine learning course. Okay, yeah. So there's a machine learning course, and then that becomes the prerequisite for the deep learning course. I took the machine learning course, and that actually covers a lot of things. I feel like most of these data science interviews that I've taken have all been more theoretical rather than, I mean, like say for an SDE role, the typical interview pattern would be, you get a coding challenge, and the expectation is, you're able to like fit in the best possible algorithm and like solve it as efficiently as you possibly can. But that cannot be the case with a data science interview, because you cannot possibly like run models and things like that in like that short span of time. So the data science interviews are usually structured wherein, if it's a pretty big firm, they send you a case program, a problem maybe, where you're asked to analyze, and then you're asked to present your findings at a later date. I'm sorry, I'm trying to let somebody else in. Yeah, and then so after that you have like a series of interviews where it's more like theoretical questions of why you would use a particular algorithm, for instance, to solve a particular problem and things like that. So to answer your question, I feel like the machine learning course at CU actually helps. And then just a couple of online courses could help you also. Yeah.
Keerthika, I have a question.
Yes.
So I have 2 questions actually. So you said you didn't have a prior, okay, yeah, sorry. You said that you didn't have a prior experience in the data science domain, but you landed up as a senior analyst role in the senior analyst role. So you have some tips for that is my first question. The second question is, like, Yeah, we covered it more or less, like how to take courses and show it in your portfolio, the ML courses and the courses that is helpful for the ML domain, and show it in your portfolio is my second question.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and third question is that a bit underrated. And as you said, the journey is different for each people, and the interviews, the certain people get it earlier and certain people get it later. So it's easy to say you've crossed the 2 years. So how did you handle that personally?
Yeah,
That's my last
sure.
question. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, sure. So the first question, not having like data science experience, yes, that actually did hurt us. And by that I mean, it's crazy. Like if you go and like check out these applications for companies, right? Even if it's like an entry level position, they want like 5 years of experience, and I'm like, why would somebody who has 5 years of experience want to start out at an entry level? It's absolute bullshit. But I feel like what helped is so with me, I knew that I wanted to be in healthcare. Like I wanted to make sure that I worked. I'm so sorry, I'm just reading the chats. Yes. I wanted to make sure that I was part of a healthcare firm. Actually, pharmaceuticals was my first objective, because I'd worked for 2 years before I came for my master's at a data analytics and healthcare firm in Chennai that's called ZoomRx. And that's where Eli Lilly, which is the company that I work for now, which is a pharmaceutical company that made insulin and things like that. They were my client back in the day. So healthcare analytics was something that I'd done, but data science is the domain that was like super new to me. So I didn't know how to sell myself for that role. And that's where I think my mentor came into the picture. So she basically said, like, if the company is being crazy and expecting like 3 years of experience for, a role, that's just not meant for you. How I sold myself to Eli Lilly was not from a space of data science experience, but rather from the healthcare experience that I had. So if you're actually interested in data science, what matters more than your experience or your technical abilities is the if you're able to like convey to them that you have the domain knowledge or the business requisites. So just like words like like I will be able to scope out a problem, I'd be able to give you insights, and basically those jargons, if you're able to like throw, they kind of understand that you have the domain background, though you don't have the experience. And in most cases, the domain knowledge is much harder to come across for companies rather than the technical expertise, because on the job you can learn everything that you need for the job. So I feel like it's the way that you like portray yourself, so that even if you don't have like actual experience, you basically put it out across as so these are all the things that I've done that can help me with this particular role that I'm about to like embark on. And considering you are part of the master's program, the roles that you get, or at least with respect like data analytics and like data science, are usually the more senior positions, as in they don't start you out as an entry level. It's usually a level up. So that's why my title is a senior analyst. So yeah, I think your next question was I actually forgot what your next question was. Sorry.
I forgot. So yeah, how to take, which courses to take and leverage your portfolio according to the data science domain in CU.
Oh yes. If you are, I don't remember. Did you? Are you part of the professional track data science?
Professionals.
Yeah. So they already have these like degree requirements, right? So you're kind of constrained in the first place, which is good for some people but bad for others. I feel like it was good for me because I was very lost. I didn't know what courses to take because there are like so many things that are being offered. I believe you are expected to take 2 core data science and 2 general data science or something like that. So that list is actually a really good list. And I personally wouldn't take more than one machine learning course. Like the first machine learning course pretty much covers it all, unless and until you see yourself as a machine learning developer. I don't think the deep learning course that is usually offered by the Google folks is like that important, because I would rather instead take data mining and things like that. So basically, to answer your question, like if you think about like trying to satisfy your bin requirements and your data science subtract requirements, you're pretty much like constrained to the type of courses that you can take. Personally, I feel like some of the more important courses are the machine learning course, the NLP course, the data mining course, the big data courses, be it the architecture or the other one that's offered by Christine. Because why? If you go into an interview, no matter if it's for a data analytics, data science, or a machine learning interview, you can basically say that, yes, I have machine learning experience, I have data mining, and you're also covering cloud through big data. And then the general courses, it's always like advisable to take the algorithms courses, though I didn't take it because I like the kind of horror stories that I've heard about that course made me not take it. But then but so many people that I know have taken it, and Bo, if he's the instructor, I feel like I've heard such great things about him, so that's also something that you might consider. Oh yes, and if you're a professional student, there's a capstone project for the last 2 semesters. You don't have a choice but to like take it, and that is also I completely forgot. I should probably like had added it to the presentation. So that is basically you working for an actual company that is being brought in by CU, and the group that I was working on, one of them went on to like work with them full time after the course was done also. So that could also be a really helpful point. So yeah, basically I feel like you're already constrained, so you don't have to worry too much about the kind of courses that you're taking. But the story is different if you're like a general track person. And then do check out these Atlas courses. They're like really fun, and they also open up a lot of avenues. The Gregory Greenstreet course had a TA who was also a working professional. He was, I believe, a he wasn't a data set. I think he was just a senior software developer at Twitter. And like he also like gave referrals to like so many people, and that also helps open up avenues. Oh yes, so when we talk about networking, it does not just stop with like making industry contacts. Your own instructors, your own professors are also a really great arsenal that you can have. Because for instance, Bruce Montgomery, who's like the PPM capstone person for the last 2 semesters, who also takes OAD. His OAD classes are really nice, so you should take that also. He is super nice. He's one of the most kindest people that I know. Even if he does not know you personally, if you go to him for like help with respect to like job searches and things like that, he goes out of his way to like make posts for you on his LinkedIn or through his social circle, saying that this is my student, I can vouch for them, could you help them out? And I've heard in the past that like many people have benefited from that also. I mean, it does not just stop with Bruce. It's just one person that I know who's actually done it from a personal hand. But I'm saying that most of these professors are willing to help if you just ask them for help. But that said, like don't bother them too much with like constant emails and things like that. But if you have taken their classes in the past and you still kind of manage to keep a rapport with them, they could also be a good place to approach. You don't have to feel shy about, oh, how do I go ask my professor? But it's perfectly fine. Yeah, that's that.
Thank you.
Did you have any other questions?
Like how to like people, like that was more of a personal question, like how to, like you said, the paths will be.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks, right? Because your own friends are getting jobs. In fact, like, it bothered me so much that one of my friends was like the smartest person in the entire batch. I'm sure. Oh yeah, he probably came out for one of these sessions also. His name is Arjun Rao. He's now with Microsoft. That guy's too smart, and yeah. I speak about him like this because he's my friend, so it's fine for me to speak about like this. But then, so he took the Microsoft interview like around like December or something. He bagged it, and then he went out to take the Apple interview, the Google interview, the Facebook interview, and he pretty much got it all. I think he didn't get Google and Facebook or something like that. So basically, he had a lot of things on his hand, and then the rest of us are just like, I'm not even getting a call back. Like, what is this? So I mean, I know it sucks, but then and I know it's so much easier now that like I kind of figured things out for me to say that you just like wait it out. But then like, if I had to advise myself back in the past, I would just say that the stress does not help at all. Like, all you're doing is just like whiling away more time that you should probably have like invested in probably applying. At one point, applying becomes really hard because you're frustrated because the number of positions that you've applied for is like a lot. Like, maybe like in a day you felt really motivated, you sat down and you applied for like 25 plus roles, but then you didn't even get a single call back, and that's frustrating. So there will come a point where you don't even feel like applying anymore, but that's you just have to get past it, because there's no point in like stressing out about it. So I feel like it's just like keep yourself motivated, like have like at least like one person that is your support of sorts, and you can just like go and like vent it out to them. They don't have to be your peers here in Boulder. It could be somebody in your family, or just like anybody. A mentor usually helps in that aspect, where they kind of like put you back on track and be like that motivation that like pushes you to like not get take a backseat of sorts. So yeah, I think it's all in the mind. I don't know if that helped, but yeah.
Thank you so much, Keerthika. Yeah, it indeed helped. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Did any of you have any more questions? Okay, all right. Looks like we're way over time anyway. It was great meeting all of you today. Thank you for coming, and yeah, it was great meeting all of you virtually. If you want anything, you can always reach out to me on LinkedIn. It's yeah, and I could help you as much as I possibly can. Okay, thanks, guys. I'll see you around.
Thank you for the talk. It was really, really nice to know about these things and to know that everyone struggles. Thank you.
Everybody struggles. If somebody says it's easy, they're lying through their teeth, because that's not the case at all. So yeah.
Thank you so much for the talk.
Yeah.
Bye.
Take care. Bye, guys.